Good morning, afternoon, or night, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, and welcome to another edition of Bears and Chairs, the Sleepy Bear podcast. I am Ray, on the bottom is Nags, and to my right is Dekangus Wang, Sir Tangalang, the man Wang. And no, Nags and I did not call each other.
If you are lucky enough to see us actually recording this, because you probably will just be listening to us.
Yeah, so on the video side, you can see that Nags and I are pretty much wearing almost exactly the same shirt, except mine's a little bit more vintage than his is. His is more of like a white collar, and mine just has like the matching pink and the stink.
And his is a kid size.
Nah, it's adult medium.
They're the same size.
Hey, just so you know, we were at Mutiny Pirate Bar the other day, Tang, I did complete that maze.
How long did it take you?
2 seconds.
Okay.
He figured out he could jump over the lines.
Yeah, I just initially just said I was like, hey, I was trying to get like Father Fishbowl in on this because it's like, hey, Captain, lead yourself to the treasure, and I was like, then we just got lost in conversation, like, F it, I'll do it myself. Done. And I owned that freaking maze on the kids menu at the Mutiny Pirate Bar. Heh 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 heh. I will admit the grilled cheese looked very tempting on the kids menu. It was gooey cheese. I was like, oh, I like me some gooey grilled cheese sandwich.
So you're basically admitting that you do love the kid stuff. It's okay.
Who doesn't? I mean, come on, man. You ever been to like Friendly's and get like a Friendly Frank?
Nope. Don't eat hot dogs.
Oh, good grief. There's something about the seasoning in the Friendly Frank and just the bun they put it on. I think that would actually like sway you towards hot dogs. It's a different kind of hot dog.
It's a different kind of hot dog. It's in a nice little bun.
Toasted bun.
No. No one else is hearing this? Alright.
Oh, I'm waiting for it.
Chuckling to myself. Go down the street.
I was chuckling a little bit, just as much.
Just the toasted bun part, or what part are we chuckling at here?
You go down yourself to Friendly's, get yourself a Friendly Frank, right in the buns. It's a different kind of hot dog. Everything
it's got a
you
magic
said?
ring to it.
Yeah, everything you just said.
So there's no need to say anything more.
That's how you sneak stuff in that's PG rated. That one was for you, adults.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Little Yakko Warner for you.
Yep. Nicely done, sir.
So what's everybody playing right now?
My Friendly Frank.
He's playing with his Friendly Frank. All right, got you. I guess this is the time of day to do that.
Nothing.
Just do it right before work.
Gotta go into work unstressed. Yeah, I'm not playing anything except what we play on stream.
Well, then you're playing.
That would be the Mystical Ninja.
Mystical Ninja and DK Country 2.
So technically, yes, I am playing something.
By the way, you know there's I think 30 different Mystical Ninja games. I just found this out the other day. I was just looking up, maybe only I think 2 were localized in the West. 3 actually.
There's at least 10.
Nintendo and 2 and N64.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's way more than that. There's even, I think, the last Mystical Ninja game that was ever released was for the Nintendo DS. So I need to look up if there's a fan translation of any of these other games. I'll see if I can, ROM patch it and play some more Mystical Ninja games that weren't released in the West.
Yeah, there's a bunch on, handheld.
Yep. But I think, the DS version is the one that's, really, really worth its weight in gold. And I think there was one on, the PlayStation, and there was, a few other ones out there as well, and I was just like, damn, this series is actually quite popular in Japan.
And then it disappeared.
And then it just completely disappeared out of thin air. Poof. And this is before Konami became Konami, so it's do you have a shot at this series ever coming back? And I'm like, well, if the Japanese will wheel it, it can. And there was like other people that were like saying that, man, if Mystical Ninja had like debuted in like the 2000s or the 2010s, it would have been a lot more popular. It just the 90s weren't ready for it, except for the cool kids.
It's the same thing with Freakazoid, the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It would have debuted after it did. It would have done much better and been on longer. Way ahead of its time.
Yeah, if you can get like the people like behind Ukulele to like freaking remaster the Mystical Ninja on N64, that would be like freaking fantastic.
A remaster of Mystical Ninja?
Yeah, I mean,
please,
if
please keep making this master of a baiting game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, Konami's not, opposed to remasters as long as someone else works on it. I mean, look at the Cowabunga collection,
which comes out.
That was done by a completely third-party studio. Konami was just like, "Oh yeah, here you go, have fun."
Well, that's technically not a remaster. They just put everything together, which isn't.
They put everything together, but it's still like all right. I guess maybe remaster was definitely the wrong term for that. Just actually Konami releasing an old video game and saying, "Oh yeah, we acknowledge that we have these."
Here. Please, somebody else do it for us. We're too lazy.
Somebody else program this and release it for us, and just give us money because we're the publishers of it and we own the rights. Haha.
We would like you to pay us.
They're so valuable because new IPs are so difficult to launch now. You could make the same exact game. One would be like considered a remaster of Mystical Ninja. Those characters that kind of fan base behind it. Or you can make the game with different characters, different names, different settings, but it's fundamentally the same game and won't do nearly as well.
True.
Just like new IP launches that are successful are incredibly rare. That's why most companies don't have milking the cow, especially Western companies. The only ones that are starting to break that mold are the Japanese companies lately. And obviously indie, but indie, there's, you talk about indie darlings, but, how many indie games are there? Tons. There's tons, hundreds upon hundreds of indie games. How many actually, break it into that breakout game status that normally is occupied by AAA? Very, very few. It is 1 in a million. But that's the ones you see, so people... And it's the same as becoming a YouTube gaming content channel. Right? You get influenced by the ones you see that made it. You don't see the ones that didn't. And there's a hell of a lot more of them. So, and it keeps piling up. More and more people who try to be this. It's more of a streamer thing now. Everyone wants to be a streamer.
Everybody.
Because they're influenced by that person. They're like, oh, this guy has no special qualities. He just streams. Yeah, well, you're seeing, you're seeing the fish. You made it through the net. It's unrealistic. That's, and then, so, I mean, more power to them. You only get the people that make it because the people that try.
Swim down.
But
swim down.
You can be ambitious and realistic at the same time. And that's just the realism that comes with trying to be an indie game company. You're likely going to fall in a place where if you do a damn good job, you get a small but dedicated fan base. You get your nice community, you get a niche. And that's where most gaming channels land. That, make it past launch and stick around for a while, they get a small, dedicated fan base.
Yeah, there's so many similarities in what you just said, because it's definitely the same with us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how many people? I mean, I don't know if you still classify it in the indie scene or anything like that, but look how many people still play RuneScape to this day. That was just a game that just took off 20 years ago, and people still play it today. And that's a dedicated fan base that goes to that.
No, I wouldn't call that indie, but it's definitely definitely an example of a niche.
A dedicated niche, because I'm just like, man, I just played that for like a little bit in high school, and then I just got tired of it, and I'm just like, man, this is stuck around for 20 years. Wow.
Technically, wasn't Hollow Knight like an indie game?
Hollow Knight is an indie game, yes.
Hollow Knight 1 is an indie game. Hollow Knight 2 is an indie game in name only.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say
that's one of those that broke the mold.
Budget.
I was gonna say the first one wasn't, and then it went big time bullsec.
BDE.
Yep.
Went to that BDE.
I got that big D energy.
Yeah, Hollow Knight just swinging it around.
And I hate to tell you, but most of the indie games that you fund on Kickstarter don't release as indie games. Because very few of them are actually funded purely from Kickstarter. Kickstarter is exactly what its name implies. It's a kickstart. What it does is it shows appeal to an audience that they then use in a pitch to an investor. So by the time that game's come out, it's mostly funded by someone with a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Or a company with a lot of money. Which really doesn't make it indie.
And it gives them what, like maybe 500K to a 1.5 mil of sales already?
Yeah, it says, look, we have guaranteed sales. There is an interest for this, and then they go and find investors.
Yeah, it's like a bona fide pre-order, like a glorified pre-order.
Basically, it's a pre-order for indie companies or small companies to like assist in their pitch to bigger companies, so they can try to jump that ladder. I mean, in the end, everyone gets what they want, right? You know, people who want that game kickstart it, get it to the point where someone will pick it up as an investment. Well, they don't always get what they want because there's so much vaporware that comes out of Kickstarters.
Yeah, and Kickstarter itself, I mean, there's been some serious turds that have come out of Kickstarter, like Mighty Number 9. Thanks, KG Inafune. The Ouya.
Yeah, well, Mighty Number 9 is... problem with Inafune is not a developer. He's a producer.
Mm-hmm.
So he had nothing to do with the talent that was on the project, and the talent that was on the project sucked. They weren't doing a game style they were familiar with or anything. He just picked a bad team. So the production side of it, right? The way it was presented, the trailers, the way it got off the ground as Kickstarter, that's all Inafune. That's why everyone thought it was going to be way better. Because the production side of it kicked butt.
They were like, hey, this looks like something else that starts with an M.
Yeah, this looks like Milkman.
Milkman number 5.
Bad box art. Bad box art Mega Man.
Milkman number 5.
And then number 5. Oh.
A 1, a 2, 3, 4. That's all I got.
I got almond and I got milk with magnesia. I'm trying to think of like different styles of milk, but that's the only two I can really think of.
Almond milk, cashew milk, soy milk.
Almond milk, soy milk, and cashew milk. And you know it's getting sweeter.
Right, there's buttermilk.
Heavy cream.
Yeah.
Heavy whipping cream.
1%, 2% skim. Old.
Mm-hmm. Look at all the milks.
Damn, somebody knows our milks. Freaking.
I've been down the milk aisle in a grocery store.
Me too.
All right there.
As if I'm just not that observant to memorize all the milks at the top off the top of my head when I'm trying to sing a Mambo No. 5 milk parody.
I think it's because when he goes to the grocery store, he's trying to get out of there like it's Vietnam. I got the milk. Let's go.
Yes, exactly that. I cannot stand being in a grocery store longer than I have to be.
There's signs. They point to everywhere. There's numbers and there's things, and it says there's cheese down here. There's no cheese. Oh man, this one says cereal.
There's just walls of bread, but there's no sandwiches.
Why is the meat not next to the bread? This is a catastrophe.
Hey, nice store. Hey, nice store. There's no bathroom in it.
It's all the way in the back, next to the frozen aisles. It's
always next to the frozen aisle.
No,
not always.
The giant notice next to the Starbucks.
Yep.
Ooh.
In the
front. I guess Starbucks has something to do with that.
The Safeway and Arundel Mills.
Yeah, because it's required. The Safeway.
In Arundel Mills, it's right when you walk in the left side entrance, next to the deli counter. Well, the hot foods counter, I guess.
You been down to Safeway or Arundel Mills lately?
I've been there a couple times.
It's a long drive just to get some hot foods.
I stopped there after work like once.
Let's say, boy, why don't you just go to Wegmans or something if you're gonna take a drive?
There's a closer Wegmans. It's in Columbia. Actually, there's one in Owings Mills. I know where my grocery stores are.
Do you got Sprouts?
No, we actually don't have Sprouts.
Sprouts down here in Medina. Route 2 jumpers. Most bitchin' sushi counter you ever seen in your life. And they're always thanking me for taking their stuff. That is like, it looks like someone stuck a sushi restaurant inside a grocery store. It's ridiculous. It's not just that little, awesome. not little tiny counter with like, one Asian guy like, oh, make it the same thing.
You get like 3 meters of sushi to choose from.
Yeah, it's just like this multi-tiered shelf, and they got like poke bowls.
All kinds of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, and then there's a candy aisle, and all the candies in these.
Come on, man.
But it's all, and there's like organic candy and regular candy, and
come on, man.
Shoveling gummies.
Come on,
and
man.
Olawa Candy, a former basketball player.
Come on, man. Don't tell me there's barrels of candy.
Yeah,
barrels
and
barrels of candy.
It's like a little mini candy store, like where you can just fill your own bag.
It's like a heaven.
I dig it.
It's like the best place ever to go.
Yeah, and everything else is just like, super healthy stuff.
I got a golden ticket.
All kinds of good stuff.
I'm going to drive past that place on my way home from PT today, so.
I found some, when I was there, I found some 130 calorie thin crust pizzas, personal pizza crusts.
Nice.
Was it cauliflower?
Just a regular ass pizza crust.
Wow.
$1.30, baby.
That sounds.
I could do some work with this.
Yeah, you can. Eat about 10 of them.
I'd need to.
Carbon up. Carbon up.
Go bulk up, coach.
Got bulk up. Gotta get me some carbs today. All right. Let's, because it's burning in my head. I want to get it off my chest. Let's go right into this stupid episode of Mario.
I watched it for 5 seconds and I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
So I heard like I got through it, but I heard like the mummy scream, and I was just like, "What the hell is wrong with her voice?"
So the episode we were talking about is Mind Your Mommy, Mario.
And the entire time I was thinking of Stewie. Mum, mummy, mama, mum, mum, mum. Just the entire time, just watching this episode, I'm like, okay, and I couldn't really entirely focus on it. But I think, like, the Koopas stole a mummy that looked like Mario, and it turned out to be the mummy's son.
It was a sarcophagus that they stole.
Yes.
That had Mario's head on it. So the mummy woke up because her son got stolen by the Koopa kids. Hip and Hop, as they're called in this episode. But really, they're Iggy and somebody else. I don't remember.
Maybe Lemmy? No, not Lemmy, but it could be somebody else.
No, I think that's close enough.
Yeah. And I was just like, the entire time I was like listening to them like talk. I'm like, man, they're really trying to get the kid voice out. And
it's like it's done by the same voice actor too.
And just you want to talk about like levels of like 90s cartoon cringe and everything like that. And it was just literally like right at the beginning of the episode, and Mario was like, nothing can get me out of this bed. There's a mummy running loose. We gotta go.
Anybody want to guess who that voice actor is?
Of the Egyptian Toad?
Actually, yeah. And the two Koopa kids.
I'm gonna go with Bryan Cranston.
No.
Nolan North.
No. I'll give you one more guess.
Dix Among Us.
That should be the Toad's name. It's my cousin, Dix Among Us.
That makes that episode infinitely better.
Dixafungus. No, it's according to
White.
That would be great. Well, according to Wikipedia, which I'm looking at right now, it's Tara Strong.
Oh.
So Harley Quinn?
Yep.
Harley Quinn herself voiced. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I was surprised too when I looked. I already had the stuff up. I was like, no fucking way.
Or as her latest role, Miss Minutes in Loki.
Yep. Also, did you notice that when Mario was sleeping, he had brown hair?
I did notice that. I was like, what the hell? What is this, like early Dragon Ball Z with Vegeta and Nappa having like multicolored armor and brown hair?
Well, like we said, like it was a trope back then because they would get these episodes out like so quick they wouldn't check for issues, and they
continuity.
They would just like, oops, some guy forgot to color his beard wrong.
All right, well, put it to the press anyway.
Yeah.
We got a deadline to meet here.
But there weren't
kids.
There weren't as many in this episode as there has been in like the first episode we watched.
There was something that I did notice. Why were Peach's arms so big? Like her forearms were just so much longer than her like actual upper arm, and I was just like, so weird proportions here.
Been working out.
She got those
curls.
She's got those swole shoulders already in her dress, so they just want to make it more proportionate. She just
those
tiny
shoulders on her dress. Those aren't puffed out.
Yeah, that's just her muscle.
That's her massive delts.
Because it's normally flat and it just goes.
I think she stays up in the air so long.
Yeah.
Right. It's because she moves her shoulders so fast that they vibrate like a hummingbird. You need some serious muscle to do that. You can't see it. The shoulder sleeves just like disguise it. You can't
just pop out like crazy. You're welcome, folks. You're welcome, folks.
Yeah.
Toadstool is ripped.
Every time I hear her float in Mario 2, every time I hear her float now, Mario 2, I'm going to be thinking of like a vibrating hummingbird.
That's right. I want you to always be thinking of vibrators.
And the episode already came full circle.
And that's pretty much it for that episode, because there was nothing really of merit in that one. It was just, and I like how it's like, oh, we got to go before everybody gets hurt. She was chasing all of two people.
Well, there was a little bit this episode had to offer. Luigi got his day to shine. He doesn't get that very often. It was all about him taking them to get the sarcophagus and him coming up with a plan to get out of the castle. He saved his brother. It's like Mario was missing point one.
And 11 years before Luigi's Mansion. And it's just, the other thing, too, about this episode, they really overused the overworld theme.
Okay.
Like, I just kept hearing it. I'm like, we get it. They're in World 2.
But that's the best part about watching these cartoons is all the old sounds.
Oh, I agree. It's just that one, they just kept playing. It was like they played it on loop for the entire episode. At least in this podcast, I've got Super Nintendo music going, through a 2-hour and 30-minute loop before it starts repeating.
And that
was the other thing, too. It was lacking the drum beat, so I was like, 0 out of 10.
I will admit, usually they have the cool song where they do something cool, and it's like, this is the best song they've ever written. And it wasn't. It was just a little hard rock jam, and it was it for the chase scene, and I was really sad.
And then that was all she wrote for that episode. The mummy eventually got her day, got her son back, and she was like, "How dare you? How dare you impersonate my son? Now you, on the other hand, you look like my husband." And she's referring to Luigi.
And then she tried to.
Means
Then she tried to bone Luigi. Yeah, then she tried to bone Luigi.
Speaking of boning Luigi, he was getting some serious action in both these episodes, because the second episode, now that one.
Oh yeah, let's just go right. Let's just get it out of the way because I don't want to watch these again.
That one.
Yeah. So the next episode is called "The Beauty of Kootie." Cutie. Oh god, I'm pretty sure Tank didn't watch this. I don't blame him. It was a little bit better than the last one, except the worst thing about this is the accent they give for the Sultan.
I noticed that as well.
Little racist, a little bit.
It's very super and indeed
little racist.
And you just summed up the '90s. Everything's a little racist.
Just a little racist, little out of touch.
Yes and no. It's out of touch, but it's not so brazenly PC, right? Everyone could use a little more '90s because it's so ridiculous. I don't feel like '90s racism is vindictive racism. It's just stupid things that like people of said race could be like, "You guys are idiots," and then have a laugh about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this kind of sums up the Sultan's voice.
It's so ridiculous. It just made me laugh. I'm like,
and the whole time, the funny part is that they're just wasting all the oil, like the entire episode. They're just spraying it everywhere, using it to knock people around. They're like,
could have been filling up someone's car.
Yeah, it's like, hey, hook me up.
No wonder gas prices are so high.
They've been using this to beat the Koopas.
So that's what's going on over there.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the sex and potatoes about this. All right. So
and that's our new catchphrase, by the way. Let's get to the sex and potatoes.
Let's get to sex and potatoes.
All right. So here we go. So Cutie and the other one, I forget his name. They all look the same.
Yep.
His name's Cheatsy Koopa. They're trying to get this.
Where's Chongsy Koopa?
They're trying to get they're trying to get the oil reserves or whatever you want to call it for Bowser. So she decides to get changed into a human, but with her tail still sticking out, which is funny. And then she goes and hits on Mario, and somehow he makes her a crazy spaghetti dinner out of nowhere. Which, that's cartoon things. But
Yep.
The problem is that the last episode she just had a 16th birthday. Now I don't know how old Mario is, but I'm gonna say he's at least 30-ish.
30-ish.
At least.
Full-blown mustache.
With at least. Well,
No,
you know.
he's 12.
He's 12.
Just like Big Crow.
That's when he got his mustache. I got that when I was 12.
Oh. Screw you, Mom. I got a mustache now. I'll listen to you.
I'm going down this pipe, but I'm going to save the Mushroom Kingdom. And I'm getting laid by a dinosaur. See ya.
Yeah. You don't like it? You can kiss my ass mustache.
Yeah, so that's already bad. Which, you know, they didn't actually do anything. No harm, no foul. He realizes his mistake. But, in like the same sentence, he tells his brother Luigi to do the same thing.
Yeah, be opposites, and then he becomes the... I forget the name of him, but I wanted to say...
Casanova Koopa.
Casanova Koopa. Okay, for some odd reason, I want to say Fernandez. Great, I'm Spring Breeze dancing.
Oh, Fernandez.
Bye for now, Fernandez.
You came and you kissed my Koopa. And you swept me away, oh, Fernando. That's all I got.
I was just trying to think of what actor they were portraying the Casanova Koopa, because he kind of was like a mixture between Ricky Ricardo and Louis Prima.
It was something.
And Koopa form.
It was something.
And yeah, the longest kiss ever
you
between
got
a
it
Koopa
wrong.
and a Luigi.
It was Dave Coulier.
With Woodchuck?
Well, you ought to know.
Right.
See what I did there?
Nicely done. So yeah, so Luigi does the same thing, and they end up going to like this little room that she made up out of nowhere, which is even worse than Mario just trying to have dinner with her. Like, you know she's an underage Koopa. What are you trying to get yourself into? Check the ID, man.
And we know the laws apply because they were just in the White House in the previous episode.
Exactly. So we have 90s racism and 90s, what can I think of the word?
Statutory.
90s statutory. All in one episode. Thanks, Nintendo! I better see this stuff in the Mario movie.
Your mama.
You hear that, Chris Pratt?
Yeah, right? I'm torn on that movie. I'm a big fan of Captain Monkey Donkey Kong, but I am not overjoyed by his voice acting casting.
Did they cast for Donkey Kong?
Seth Rogen.
Oh, man. How does he keep getting these voices?
I'm just like, I mean, he might knock it out of the park and I'll be overjoyed, right? I have nothing against him personally, but the general attitude of Seth Rogen, like kind of like his own personal brand, doesn't really scream Donkey Kong to me.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, his brand of comedy is just, I just keep thinking frat boy comedy. And now he's like in his 40s, so I'm just like, well, you can't really call it frat boy anymore, so.
I don't think it was ever frat boy.
I think it was more like stoner comedy.
And there was a little bit of stoner and a little bit of like overwhelmed dad comedy, right?
Yeah, that's
Like, holy crap, and I'm an adult comedy. And just like very like being somehow sounding like he's relaxed while he's also freaking out.
that's a good way to describe it. Like, oh no, I gotta.
None of these things are Donkey Kong.
No.
Donkey Kong is a monkey who can literally punch the fucking moon, right?
So who would be your perfect cast for Donkey Kong? And don't say Idris Elba. Because he made a perfect Knuckles.
True. You know, I can't really think of somebody.
Personally, Seth MacFarlane. I think he's so good at creating voices for characters that he would land on something perfect for DK. Because it's just the ridiculous range that he has.
Even though in one episode of Family Guy, he made the fact that Peter Schmidt and the Doctor sound the same. He's like, there's only so many voices I can do.
Yeah, when you're getting to like double digits there.
Yeah. But I think he could probably come up with a new one just for Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah.
He probably already has.
Make it
Absolutely.
Peter Griffin.
Right? When you get to like Peach and Mario and stuff, they're kind of like tones and voices are very well known. You can play with them because they're just exaggerated stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly.
DK is just
DK.
He's DK. He's got the gruffness, but it's I just keep hearing like the sound clips from DK64. Okay, yeah. He's almost like Barry Manilow as a gorilla.
Yeah, I don't think.
And now I'm envisioning Donkey Kong soothing us with the sweet sounds of serenades on the freaking microphone.
No, with his bongos, just
My darling, I can't get enough of your love, babe.
I mean, that
It's not
would.
quite down to the depth of Manilow, but it's that same grit.
Yeah, I don't know if Seth Rogen can do all that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it might be a talent he never had to display because he's never been cast in that type of role. So,
Yeah, I think the one cast that they did nail in that movie was Charlie Day as Luigi. I think like that'll actually be good. Everybody else is like, huh, this is a cast?
Charlie Day needs more credit than he gives.
Yeah, I think he's gonna actually like own that role and just take it so seriously. Everyone else is like, we're voicing a kid's video game movie.
I
Charlie's
don't
like,
think anyone thinks of like Super Mario like that anymore. These people that are casting it, they grew up with it. Like, this is their childhood. I'm sure they fully embrace and realize that Nintendo and Mario is one of the most valuable IPs in the planet.
It really is.
I still don't understand why they cast Jack Black in it.
You don't get two theme parks because you're a kids' TV show. Otherwise, people would be going to Yu-Gi-Oh! The theme park and Beyblading each other.
They can just combine those into one thing.
They can.
Well, that's your Beyblades.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Beyblade. Just I got my card on this side, and I got my Beyblade on this.
What's your Beyblade? Mine's the Chesapeake sword.
Is that a real Beyblade? 'Cause I have no idea.
It is if you take a sword to the Chesapeake Bay. It's a blade at the bay.
The sword in the bay. The sword in the crab.
I think it'd be funny though to turn DK like angry Scottish, right? Like let's switch out Seth Rogen and replace the casting for DK with Drew McIntyre.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Why are they not just doing it?
Since we're thinking in wrestling terms and someone who's not doing anything right now, I have my new perfect casting. Big E.
There you go.
Big E would be the best DK.
Yep.
100%.
Oh, Mushroom Kingdom!
Are you ready?
Don't you dare be sour!
Because it's time for the DK hour.
With
All right, how about
maybe
Bray
a
Wyatt
close-
as Koopa?
Maybe a distant second being Keenan Thompson.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, that would probably
Okay.
work.
At that point, Kel Mitchell is Waluigi.
Yeah.
Did you forget about me?
I mean, if we're going to cast Keenan and Kel, they should be Wario and Waluigi.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm liking this.
Well, if we get a sequel, that'll probably happen. Well, they got Keegan Michael Key playing Toad, so I'm kind of wondering where Jordan Peele's going to fit in. Not saying they always do. Not saying they always do everything together, but like usually when it's
Directing it.
usually when there's a cartoon, they're involved together somehow.
Yeah.
If he's directing it, then it's going to be good.
I meant that as a joke, but yeah.
Oh, well, if he was directing it, it would probably be really good.
Be a horror movie
It'd
like
be a
Winnie the
horror
Pooh.
movie.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
I'm actually excited for that.
He could do Luigi's Haunted Mansion movie.
That would be cool. They have a decent cast, at least what I'm looking at. So we get a couple Mario related characters. There'll probably be more. That'll open up the Wario and Waluigi sequel. Which I can already see the plot for it. Like they go around and they do stuff and people thinks it's them and then they get a bad rap and then
Right. It starts off as like a Wario Waluigi parody of Jackass.
yeah. He's like, hey guys, watch this. I'm gonna crouch chop this right in front of your mom.
Mario, there's this big purple guy going around the Mushroom Kingdom making obscene gestures.
They're driving around in a stylish purple Cadillac.
What a travesty! Won't somebody please think of the children? Will somebody please think of the toads?
The Toad children, but they already look like children. They already look like children.
Not a chode.
Oh, they could sneak that in. That'd be wonderful.
Charlie Toad.
Charlie Chode? Waluigi swearing out. Look at all the little chodes.
They're everywhere.
Dumbass.
So now turn. That's how it should go. They should just turn them into beef.
I was thinking more along the lines of Harry and Marv.
Yep. That's a good evil duo.
Hey, what's Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern up to these days?
Nothing.
Yeah, not a lot.
Probably. Well, in Daniel Stern's case, probably like passing it on, like philanthropy type stuff, community service. Joe Pesci's probably just sitting in his basement cursing.
There's a fresh.
Yeah, they came up with that tick for Harry because they couldn't stop him from cursing. He had such a foul mouth. They're like, dude, you got to do something about that. So that character tick was just to mask that he needed to swear at everything.
That's funny. He's like, you put me on all these mobster movies, and now you want me to be a kids movie?
No, exactly.
Fuck this little blonde kid.
It's like when you stub your toe and you're trying not to swear in front of the kid. Speaking of, Ellie really wants to see the next Mystical Ninja play.
So
that means you got to watch your damn mouth, right?
We'll do.
I told her they're playing it Wednesday or Thursday. We'll watch. She's very excited for it.
Probably Thursday. Still trying to figure out what we're doing. Oh. Well, that's all I got.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good podcast size for me and everything like that. With the 2 Mario episodes, like I said, that one was very, very easily forgettable because we're gonna immediately forget it after we hit stop on this. And then the other one was like, it was okay.
Well,
Okay.
I think we can try and sneak another one in Sunday sometime so we can catch up a little bit.
We shall see. Orokosaki.
I think since we want to go with what we're actually playing on the channel, maybe we should watch the first episode of Mr. Little Ninja Cartoon.
Where Impact actually has emotions.
Yeah, see, now we're talking.
Yep, I have it on DVD here, but I haven't found it on the internet to stream.
Jeez. We'll find it somewhere.
Yep.
All right, folks, that's a wrap for this Bears and Chairs podcast. I am Ray. That is Nags down below, and is the Kang of Swang. If you're not listening or not watching, then you can just tell by our voices who we are, and just go with that. All right, folks, take it easy.
Bye.
It ain't easy.
Dingle day.